Breaking news, there's been a string of syringe attacks across France.
Police in France say 14 people are under arrest after a possible syringe attack at a series of music festivals across France.
And I have them 14 names later in the video.
145 people report being pricked, including some girls as young as 14.
Les gars, je vais aux urgences. Je me suis fait piquer. En fait, de la musique, voilà. Alors, ça m'a totalement envahi. C'est encore le cas. Voilà, je suis un peu sensible. En fait, c'était hyper compliqué, on va dire, ces derniers jours. Cette nuit, j'ai très peu dormi. Et c'est vers 1h30 du matin, donc il y avait un peu moins de personnes dans les rues, que je me suis fait piquer. Du coup, donc quelqu'un m'a tapé le bras, l'avant-bras gauche. Et là, bah, voilà, la piqûre a été faite.
The 22-year-old spent the night in the emergency room, shuffled from one hospital to another.
J'ai senti comme le muscle, comme quand on a un vaccin au final, le muscle qui était un petit peu engourdi. Et voilà, au bout de 30 minutes, du coup, la piqûre est apparue. Sur des personnes qui n'ont strictement rien demandé, qui veulent juste profiter de la vie, profiter de moments.
After she got home, Manon says she filed a police report.
Trop laxiste, si on se dit trop bon, il y a d'autres personnes.
If we're too lax, maybe on the open borders and allowing in millions of unvetted people from the third world.
Qui vont porter plainte, il y a d'autres personnes qui vont s'en occuper. J'ai pas envie de donner de l'énergie à ça. Bah en fait dans ce cas-là, on fait jamais rien.
No, nothing will ever change because millions of French people like you vote for the left, who are open border enthusiasts and supporters, and that's why nothing will change. So yeah, keep voting, socialist. Keep voting, center right. Keep voting to the left, and again, you'll continue to suffer these consequences.
I want to bring in foreign correspondent Tom Soufi-Burridge for more. Tom, what's the latest here?
Yeah, Dan, so I think this is a very troubling phenomenon. What we don't know is anything really about the malign actors who were behind this. It appears to have been inspired or encouraged on social media. So it looks like there were social media posts before this annual nationwide music festival event. So effectively, Fête de la Musique, there are music festivals in towns and cities right across France. And prior to the event, there were posts, we think, on social media encouraging people or telling people to prick people attending that event. Now, we don't know anything about the malign actors behind this. Police are investigating, and they say that during those series of music festivals right across France on Saturday, 145 people were either pricked or believed they were pricked. So, you know, because of these social media posts, people picked up on these and then warned other social media users that this was being encouraged. So you had a climate of fear or concern prior to the event itself. And police are saying that they have arrested so far 14 people in connection with these attacks.
Tom, victims reported feeling hot flushes, dizziness, loss of consciousness, and visible marks or bruises on their skin.
Remember them symptoms. And this isn't a new phenomenon. We have this post from Robert Spencer, June 26, 2022, France. 1,098 people nationwide attacked with tainted syringes. Several Muslims arrested. French readers notified me of a mysterious and disturbing trend that is currently taking place in France. A wave of attacks involving syringes. There have been nearly 1,100 victims. Many, but not all, the attacks have taken place in nightclubs or during concerts. The victims have experienced symptoms ranging from dizziness and hot flashes to loss of consciousness.
Hot flushes, dizziness, loss of consciousness, and visible marks or bruises on their skin.
There have been just a few arrests, 2 Turks, 1 Yemeni, and 2 others named Ayman and Ahmed. A Tunisian was also arrested.
So are police saying what they think was in those syringes?
They haven't yet, and at the moment I don't think there's any indication whether or not any of the victims were actually injected with any type of substance. I mean, look, we know from one of the mayors of a city where there were 17 young victims, 17 young female victims, that the victims were as young as 14, aged through to 20. One particularly concerning thing I think that mayor said for me was that some of the victims were actually attacked in the presence of their parents.
The parents watched their children being assaulted, huh? Not surprising, parents in France, like the population in general in France, are oftentimes older than the migrants filling up their country. This combined with the fact that the French people, men in particular, have been feminized, liberalized, and have been more pacific as in pacified, creates a power differential between the young migrant and the older French parent. And when the French parent can't physically defend their children, this inspires contempt in the attacker, emboldening them further.
And we know that from police that most of the attackers were either pricked in their arm or in their back. They had various symptoms as you've laid out. And most of those people either were treated at the scene by first responders or then reported to hospital to give urine, saliva or blood samples to try and work out whether they were pricked or not.
Echoes of the past. A 25-year-old woman filed a complaint the previous week after being stung at around 1 a.m. while at Eden Bar. In the middle of the hearing, the victim, feeling unwell, was evacuated to the hospital to carry out examinations, in particular blood and urine.
But I think, this phenomenon, it doesn't appear, I think, that physically many of the victims were badly hurt or damaged in this attack. That seems to be the indication at this stage. But what this attack, inspired by just a few messages, we think, on social media, has done is sow panic. So I think, French authorities right now are urging calm. They're saying we shouldn't panic, but people in future events should be vigilant and look out for this type of attack, seek medical advice, report it to the police as soon as they see it.
And
Diane?
Tom, any sense of a motive here? Why do this?
I don't think we have any motive at all. And I think this attack is symptomatic of the digital age, right? Social media. People or actors, malign actors, can go on social media now and encourage this type of attack. Now, there is nothing to suggest who is behind this attack, but we know that malign actors have been working to destabilize European countries in the past. No indication at the moment who could have been behind this.
Don't know who could be behind this? What are you talking about? I did a quick 2-minute search on X, and I got all 14 of their names. Jules Laurens. This is obviously a French speaker. Number 1 suspect arrested, Islam Salani. Nationality, Algerian. You guys French is similar to English. You can figure it out. Mohammed Ben Khalifa, Algerian. Yasser Bouaza, French, supposedly, but that's not a French name. We see what kind of names these are. The names are pretty self-explanatory. Islam Salani, Mohammed Ben Khalifa, Yasser Bouazi, Fabmin Liman, nationality Tunisian, Jackie Dubresse, nationality French. Now, I think this person might be of French descent. Jerome Mazagoran. This person might be ethnically French. Chazmanadine Ben Harida. Yeah, we see supposedly French, but we see what kind of name that is. Ayub Bilal, Moroccan. Walid Gouach, Algerian. Raphael Waldong. This doesn't state his nationality. He might be German, but we see Abukar Balani. Doesn't say his nationality, but we see what kind of name it is again. Abdel Mokachen. French, but not of French descent. Mathiz Daraji. French, might be of French descent, might be Albanian, might be even from the Caucasus Mountain region, I'm not sure. But that name is definitely Northern Caucasus region, Southern Russia. Walid Tanani. Yeah, we see not too many ethnically French people named Walid.
But I think it is deeply worrying for the authorities in this kind of digital social media age that we live in.
And if mass random syringe attacks at music festivals across your entire country doesn't kind of hint at something wrong within your society, maybe the riots that just took place in Paris that ravaged the city should be somewhat of a sign that maybe, just maybe, your liberal ideas on immigration and open borders and crime and punishment are not working.